Okay, we're back in Blender now, and I'm going to show you how I would do the simplified physics mesh for this. Now, in this case, I have a shadow catcher down here. That's what this bottom piece is. So we're going to start out by using it. To do that, I want to tab into Edit Mode, go into Face Select Mode, select this face. I want to duplicate it, and then I want to separate by selection. That breaks it off into its own piece, as you can see up here, bench 006. Okay, tab back out of edit mode. Make sure I have the new one selected. Now I'm going to tab back into edit mode on it. But now, as I need a couple of different planes here, I will start out by duplicating this one again and grabbing it up on the Z and bringing to right here, right about here. You want it close to the top. It doesn't necessarily have to be over the top. So like that'll work. Now I'm going to go into my edge select, which, okay, to make this easier, I'm actually going to go into my edge and face select at the same time. Where I'm in edge select now, if I hold down my shift or press shift key and hit 3, that has both of them highlighted, as you can see here, and allows me to switch between the two as I need to. So I'm going to grab this on the X and pull it in. I'm going to grab this one on the X. You know, turning it some so that I can actually have a better idea what I'm doing here. Grab this one on the Y. And grab this one on the Y. And then we're going to extrude this down. So extrude Z. And as you can see, I probably do want this edge out a little bit more here. So let me grab it on the Y. Now, when I was saying earlier that I had made a non-matching physics mesh, that's essentially what I did right there. But now this one we're going to have matching. So I'm going to come to this back edge, and I'm going to extrude it up on the Z. And grab it back on the Y. And then to make sure it matches, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this up to the top of my top piece here. Because that has it matching for that. I'm going to bring this in some, so grab it on the Y. Now, many of you have also been told that you need to have gaps between, like, back here and up here. Yes, I do know that Graham ran into some issues with rubber banding. And yes, that does fix those issues. However, it has been my experience that I've not had any of those issues. And in talking with some of the other teachers, Helena has said she ran into it when she was doing an archway. So I'm going to tell you that for majority of the things, those gaps aren't needed. At least not at this point. There might have been something that earlier on to where, yes, they were, which is why Graham told everybody to use them. At this point, though, Orrin and myself don't leave gaps. Helena does because of what she ran into with the arch. I think it was Helena. But for the most part, yeah, they're not needed. But now that we have the top and the seat done, we're going to come here. We're going to select this face again. And we're going to duplicate it because, yes, I want to keep this simple, but I also want to have the arms and the tabletop covered. Because, okay, well, technically nobody should be walking on a table or a chair. We all know it's going to happen. So, might as well be prepared for it. Now, I'm going to scale this on the X. And then I am going to duplicate this one. Grab it over on the X to the arm. Select that edge. Move it in on the X. Select the face of that one. Duplicate it and move it to the other. So now this is a pretty basic physics mesh as it is. However, we can still simplify it a little bit more. Because, and we really do want to simplify physics meshes. Your physics mesh is one of the things that determines your land impact in SL. The higher it is, the higher your LI will be. So any place you can simplify, you really want to. So now, to do that, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to hide my bench. And I am going to go into vertex select mode. Now this front one is just keeping us from really nothing, because that seat will keep you from walking into it. So in all actuality, I could have done away with this entire face. So we are going to delete those vertices. And then we're going to come here and we're going to dissolve that vertice. That still keeps our size right, so our bounding boxes will match. But we've just cut 3 tries out of it. So our tries for this is at 11. So now we are going to tab out of edit. We're going to apply our transformations, and then we're going to save. Well, export, I should say. Okay, now we're going to go back into SL.